What's going on, guys? MultiKillsHD here, as most of you guys probably already know. So it seems like just around a week ago or so that we had another swatting incident. That was Karma's wife, who is a Call of Duty pro player for Evil Geniuses. Well, maybe Evil Geniuses, maybe Optic. Who knows at this point? It's always a game of drama with the roster changes on Call of Duty. But anyways, his wife was swatted after he announced to the world on Twitter that he was going to EGL and he was getting aboard his flight. Now this week, it's going to take a little bit of a twist of a turn. Surprisingly enough, we don't have any person that really gets into drama at all. Now, if you guys are familiar, there's a group on YouTube called The Creatures, and honestly they have pretty decent videos. You know, they play Counter-Strike, they play just about every single game on the planet. They're kind of like a Yogscast, but it has more kind of funny moment type videos compared to, you know, Yogscast gaming reviews and type things like that. But anyways, going on with it, so they were in the middle of a stream yesterday, Kutra, who is like the founder of the entire Creatures group, and in the middle of his stream, he takes off his headset and he says, well, I think we're getting swatted right now, they're clearing rooms, and he puts his headset back on. 20 seconds later, put your hands in the air, they come flying in the door with their guns blazing, the cops did, and somebody indeed swatted him. So this is like the third or the fourth week in a row that these swatting incidents have been happening, and honestly, it's starting to get pretty stale if you ask me. Now here's my problem with people that SWAT, right? If you're going to risk jail time, at least do something worthwhile. You don't want to, you know, spoof somebody's phone, copy their phone number. So let's say your number was 555-555-5555, whatever the case was. They copy your same number, they call the SWAT team, and it makes it look like you were the person that called from your number for the SWAT team, right? And I pretty much last week explained my opinions on this entire swatting incident situations, but this one was kind of a little bit of a different twist. So usually on these swatting incidents, we hear about it after. There's no usual video, like, you know, other than White Boy, of what is going on during these swatting incidents. But Kutra had a perfect view of them coming in the door and kind of gave us a rundown of what exactly has been happening lately with all these swatting incidents. And this one was kind of a little bit different. So when we saw White Boy swatting on stream, it was kind of calm, to be honest. You know, they asked him, please get off your computer, we need to chat with you, there was a bomb threat or whatever they said to him in private, and they had some questions for him that they wanted to ask him. Well, in this situation with Kutra, cops were almost the exact opposite of what happened with White Boy. So the cops came in swearing up and down, telling him to get on the ground, throwing him around, throwing him completely on the ground as hard as they could, told him that if he moves that they were going to throw him on the ground again, and all kinds of other stuff that was just ridiculous. And this is kind of one of those situations where I talked about in the video. I'll link it there because I've talked about it so much in this video. I'll link it in the description for you guys if you guys want to check out the last swatting event, or incident I should say. And honestly, like I said in the last one, I said that this is eventually going to turn bad. Somebody's going to hear somebody in their house and they're going to end up shooting. Well, this was probably a really close incident of something like that happening. One being the Kutra and the Creatures are known for having props, and they just so happen to have AK-47 props and whatnot. And in the back of my mind, all I can think about is if they called in a swatting incident saying that there was a shooter with an assault rifle, for example, and what if he had that assault rifle prop on his desk? You know, the cops obviously had more resources and a lot more military type training for this police force than the one that we saw at White Boy's house. And honestly, it was kind of to the point where, you know, it could have really turned bad really fast with this situation. White Boy's swatting incident was kind of calm and peaceful, where this one was, you know, they came in just showing that they had authority, throwing everybody on the ground, and then at one point he ended up smiling and they asked him what was he laughing at, and they started getting all mad at him for absolutely no reason, because at this point, you know, I don't think the cops actually realized that he was a victim here and he wasn't the one that caused this. You know, that's one of the downfalls. The cops are always looking for somebody to blame, and if they don't have anybody to blame for that entire time that they wasted, the amount of time, the amount of resources, and the amount of tax dollars that they spent on this entire swatting incident, you know, they want somebody to blame for this, and, you know, unfortunately, the person that did this is probably not going to get caught, along with the other ones that have been going almost weekly now. I mean, it seems like every single Wednesday now. We have a new swatting incident, which is, you know, absolutely terrible if you ask me. Now, here's the kind of the weird thing that I found out later after this swatting incident. Now, when we saw White Boy swatting, we noticed it was very peaceful, kind of calm. You know, they asked him politely, you know, can you end the stream and step out for a moment, whatever the case was, and eventually found drugs in his house. But, alongside the drugs, I'm not going to really get into that. It was a pretty, you know, procedural, pretty calm, keeping the situation under control. I think they realized right away, you know, it was somebody calling in a swatting incident that probably shouldn't have. It was probably more than likely fake, and they understood that. Whereas Kutra, they didn't understand what a SWAT was, they didn't understand what streaming was, they didn't understand that people do this for fun, which as a police force, and them not knowing what swatting is, and they're going in, you know, guns blazing, and not realizing that more than likely, a lot of the calls over the last couple weeks and months and years have been fakes. It's kind of scary, you know. They don't understand that people are doing this for fun and as jokes at this point. So like I was saying, at White Boy swatting, we had maybe 3 cop cars, so 6 people that were there. Whereas this one, we saw maybe 50 to 60, 70 cops at this swatting. And I later realized that some of the police forces now, like LA, they have tanks that they have for swatting events. So you may be sitting in the parking lot waiting, and you know, you see a tank pass you heading right into the building that you're going to walk into. And I can't imagine that somebody driving a tank down the road is going to be very cheap. So, you know, at the end of the day, the person that keeps swatting, all you're going to do is make taxes around you for your local police departments go up. You're not going to get really anything accomplished. The only thing that you might get accomplished is get something on a record, go to jail, who knows, if they ever do catch you. But like I said, I don't really want to give attention to these people that are swatting, but, you know, it's it gave us a different perspective on people that are getting swatted, I think, this time. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's kind of disappointing that this just keeps happening over and over and over again. But other than that, I want to hear your guys' feedback in the comments. If you guys want, I'll go ahead and link the video in the description too, so you guys can see what I'm talking about in the swatting event. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. My name, of course, is MultiKillsHD, and I'm out. Peace.